Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1 Phathead, Cande Roth. Cande coming back at some point. A little hiatus. Everything's fine. She's good. We talk. We text. Her and Brian doing great. Maeve, the granddaughter, great. Her kids, Evan and Casey, great. She decided she just needs a little bit of time. And she will be back, taking a little extended vacation. But we'll be excited to welcome Cande back to the show when she's ready to go. Big shows coming up ourselves here. June 20th, our birthday show, 14 years and counting. We're already working on our 15th here. June 20th, Chris Lane, Mulcahy's Moles.com. That is a big one. And Tyler Hubbard with Parmalee, Brandon Wisham, and DJ Deuce, August 16th, the Catholic Health Amphitheater at Bald Hill. We are excited about that one. Ticketmaster.com. For Tyler Hubbard, the voice of FGL, the solo artist, all the hits, and Parmalee just on a string right now. They have 4 or 5 number ones in a row and over a dozen smash hits that we've played throughout their career. So excited for both of those. This is an interesting one. I like this. Saw this article about, remember when you're in school, right? You were younger, being picked last in gym class. You're going to play kickball or dodgeball or something, and you were one of the last ones picked. Not good. Not a good feeling, right? What are the adult versions of being picked last in gym class? Let me give you an example. One of the ones on the list. Getting invited out by friends to be the designated driver. See, that would be me. I don't take that as a slight. I just don't really drink. I like my Diet Cokes for no other reason than it's hard enough for me to get up in the morning anyway. I don't need the extra inspiration to keep me laying in bed. I'd rather be the designated driver. That's fine. I don't find that insulting at all. This is a good one. Now, this one would qualify as being picked last in gym class. Friends wanting a group photo together and handing you the phone to take the picture. Yeah, that's a little insulting, for sure. This one's good. People talking about party plans in front of you, but you're not invited. You might not even have any clue what they're talking about. What party? What is it? At work, you could feel this way at work. This has happened a couple of times in the past. Now, see, I pack my lunch now for a very long time, but everyone at lunch at work, either going out for lunch or ordering lunch and not asking you to join. You've been in that position. Come on, we've all been in that position. All of a sudden, a delivery person shows up with food for like 4 or 5 people that you usually kind of hang with, like that's your group, and you're not involved in the lunch ordering. That could definitely sting. That is like being picked last in gym class. Finding out your friends went out on the town without calling or texting, that's a problem. By the way, that's a new thing, and I'm sure parents will agree with me. I know we're talking about adult versions of being picked last in gym class, and that would count. But, on Snapchat, kids, your kids, right? Because it happens with my kids. Your kids know exactly where all their friends are at any moment. So there's no hiding. So you know how many times I've heard, oh, my friends are all here. Why was I not invited? That has happened to every parent that is listening, I'm sure. So yes, your friends going out on the town and you were not involved. That is definitely an adult version of being picked last in gym class. How about when your friend who lives out of town comes into town for something and doesn't tell you? Oof, that's got to sting a little bit. Being sat at the random table at a wedding. Not at the really good friend table, not at the family table. You're at a table of randoms, the last people to make the list. That's got to feel pretty bad. You may want to spread some random folks out amongst the crowd to make them feel a little better about themselves. That would be an idea. Being invited to an event on the day it's happening, an event that's clearly been planned for weeks or months. Now, to me, yes, that could be a little insulting, like a last-minute invite. They forgot about you. But it really depends on the food that is being served. I mean, if you're going to randomly invite me to something at the last minute, you better make sure we got ourselves a good spread. Then all will be forgiven. Oh, this is a bad one. The adult version of being picked last in gym class. When 3 people, including yourself, there's 3 total, are walking on a path or a sidewalk that becomes too narrow for 3 to walk side by side, so someone has to drop behind, and you're the one that drops behind and the other 2 are walking ahead of you. Ooh, that's a bad one. I feel like I've been there before. I think we've all been there at some point. We've been there. You don't want to be the one that drops behind. No way. Nobody eating your dish at the potluck dinner. Yeah, that could sting a little bit. And last one on the list, when you've met someone multiple times, but they still say, hey, nice to meet you. Sad to say, I've done that to people, and I feel really bad about it, and there's obviously nothing, sinister about it at all. I just, sometimes I'm just forgetting, not paying attention, but that could sting a little bit when you've met someone, and, oh, hey, nice to meet you, and you've met them like a million times already. That's a problem. All right, on to this one, which I believe is the dumbest parking ticket of all time. Has to set the record for the worst one. A man in Montreal is fighting a ticket that his daughter got in front of their home on April 1st. Should have been an April Fool's prank. Sadly, it was not. This is real. So, imagine your house in Montreal, regular house on the street. Early in the morning, the city came by and installed a new sign for a brand new bus stop that went right in front of the man's house. The sign is actually in his front lawn. The crew finished at about 7:55 a.m. Well, 10 minutes later, after the sign was put up, parking enforcement comes by, gives his daughter a parking ticket. She's blocking the bus stop. Obviously, her car was there overnight. The bus stop didn't exist. They wake up. There's a new bus stop right in their lawn, right in front of their house, and the car has a ticket for blocking a bus stop. The man says they were given no advance warning about the bus stop. There's no way they could have known. How would that? I mean, it's absurd just talking about it. The city agrees. They say they never update property owners about the 10,000 bus stops, but they say the ticket will not be reversed. In Montreal, once a ticket's written, that's it. Nothing you can do. The man is contesting, by the way, as he should. The man is contesting the ticket. He's annoyed he has to spend his time and energy on this, but I'm with him. You can't you have to make a statement. You cannot just pay this ticket. I know it's going to cost him time and money. You have to make a stink. You got to go to the press. It is, get the president of Canada, the prime minister, whatever they got, get them involved. That is just insanity. Crazy. All right, we still have plenty to do. Your Bald and the Beautiful Entertainment comes up at about 8:12. National Day's Good News Stories late 8 o'clock hour on National Beer Day today. We're going to have some rain, bus stop rain, pick up from school rain, looks like that, in the 40s and rain. Tomorrow, 40s, breezy, sunny. My Country, 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.